Hey, this is Andra Day, and I am here chilling with OFIVE.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round. You can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out.
No, not at all. I actually was shocked. I mean, I was surprised by being nominated, especially so soon on the first album. Really was just insane. So people are like, oh, what if, you hoping to win? I'm like, I already won. I'm nominated. I didn't expect it. So, and then to be nominated in a category with D'Angelo and that album that I loved. I actually told my manager not to give me the ballot because I'm going to vote for D'Angelo. But no, it was really an incredible experience, yeah. So I'm from San Diego, and Raphael is from Oakland. And I'm a big football fan, and there is a huge rivalry between my football team is the San Diego Chargers, and his is the Oakland Raiders. And so I get in the studio. He didn't even care about football. But as soon as he was like, "Oh, you're a Chargers fan," all of a sudden it's Oakland Raider helmets all in the studio, and I was like, "Oh my God, this dude right here." So we would just go back and forth and kind of bicker about our football teams and who was worse because they're both terrible. So it was fun. We just had so much fun time. I mean, we would grab stuff to eat and we just sit there and talk about. I would talk about my relationship with the Lord and my faith and he would talk about his experiences in church and just life and culture. And I mean, it was awesome. It was amazing. Well, I was there, so it was actually a conversation he was having with me when we discovered this. But I was doing a tribute to Nina Simone at Sundance Film Festival, which in and of itself was amazing. I was in the lineup with like Erykah Badu and Common. It was crazy. And so he was there, and we just kind of had a little friendly banter backstage. And I just told him I was a big fan. I see him kind of bouncing around Brooklyn sometimes. Just said hi, what up. So I went on stage and I performed Mississippi Goddamn. And when I came off stage, he looked at me and was like, "Wow." He's like, "What are you putting out an album?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, well, who's directing the first video?" And I looked at him, I was like, "Are you telling me you're interested?" Yeah. I was like, "Oh my God." So he gave me his number. He took mine. We texted a little bit back and forth. And I hit him up a while later to see if he was still interested. And he was like, "Yes, meet me at the Beverly Hills Hotel." And so we met, and he said, "Yep, I'm committed. I'm going to do it. I love the song. And so it was just, I was floored by it. And he did, no fee. He just did it off of love and off of respect and just being a great person. I mean, I think for me, it's not surprising. I think Spike Lee has always been controversial, you know what I mean? And I think the way he decided to tell the story was in that creative fashion, in that form. I know it rubbed people in Chicago, obviously, the wrong way. And I could understand why. But I could understand both sides. It's not just a documentary. He was creating a film. He was creating a piece of art like West Side Story. And that's what he does, and that is why he's so great. It's supposed to be controversial, and that's what he does. That's what he does best. No, I've never met him. I'm just a big fan. I'm a big fan. I have a lot of respect for him as an artist, and as a person. I think he's bringing honesty, you know what I mean? I think he's bringing fearlessness and creativity. I think he's showing people that hip-hop does not have to be what a lot of people sometimes will craft it to be. It doesn't have to just be a club record, and it hasn't historically been that. So he's taking what we know in hip-hop, which is a message and truth and honesty, what was of yesteryear, and he's making it progressive, and he's making it new, and he's making it artistic, and he's making it beautiful. And so I respect any artist who does that. Oh gosh, any historical moment. Well, I always say that sometimes I feel like I should have been born like in the 30s and then lived sort of my teen adult years in the 50s, other than the whole like being black in America in the 50s, you know. Otherwise, that'd be great. So you gonna be on Empire, girl, right? Right now, probably not. I've gotten a couple of TV offers, but I'm just not in that space right now. You know, I'm focused on the music. You know, I don't mind doing music and songs for films. You know, but as far as showing my face in a film or in TV right now, I'm not really in that place. I think if maybe a year, a couple years down the road, I'd like to start to dabble in that. Maybe more on the production side of things and co-directing. So you know, not now, really. Yeah. My biggest fear, I think, probably used to be dying and used to be not being successful. But now my biggest fear is going through life disconnected from God, going through life losing my foundation and losing myself because of that. And that's it, really. Yeah. A dream place to write music. I like the south of France. Right? I don't know. Not really. I feel like even in my writing process, things come to me in different places. I could be in a hotel room. I could be at home. I could be walking down the street. So, you know, I don't really have a preference, honestly. Maybe I should have one. Then I can start making vacation demands. Alicia Keys teamed up with the organization, and so I really discovered it through her. She invited us to the Black Ball, and that night was really amazing because I already respect and admire her as an artist, but as a person, to see her being so passionate about eradicating AIDS in Africa and not allowing people to become desensitized, not allowing people to believe that AIDS is not rampant, you know what I mean, and that kids are not dying, and that kids are not being born with AIDS, and so it works to eradicate AIDS, you know, to provide medical care and resources to communities that are ravaged by AIDS. And I think it's incredible. It's saving people's lives. It's changing people's lives and you know, affecting the entire continent. I think it's amazing. That's so hard to say. I mean, I don't really want a monument to me in my hometown. I love my hometown. I don't want people to look at me and be like, oh, I want them to just do their own thing, want their own monuments, you know what I mean? And as a community in San Diego to grow would be amazing. So I don't know. I guess if I had to pick, if I had a monument in my hometown, people would probably spray paint all over it anyway, girl. Maybe if they put my star next to Lucille Ball's, then I'd be cool with that. Oh shoot, that's so hard. Okay, so obviously love Songs in the Key of Life. That album, the whole thing is incredible. But I'm a big Intervisions fan too, so I love Higher Ground, Golden Lady. But Superstition, you know what I mean? It's like the one everybody loves, but it's an amazing song. I mean, I'd say maybe though it's really hard to say favorite song.
Yeah.